Up until probably 6 games into the season, no rookie averaged double-figure points per game, but now we have a whopping 2. The current points per game leader among rookies is Zach Edey at 11.1 points per game. Parentheses, he had a 25-point explosion, so it's kind of a little bit of an outlier scenario, but whatever. Zach Edey, best rookie in the NBA right now, right? For sure. No doubt.
The bar is in hell. This is just a depressingly bad draft class from what I can see.
I know I'm like the resident like Ryan Dunn guy lately, but unironically, where would he rank just in terms of impacting like winning? I feel like he's probably he's got, even though the stats like 6.7 points per game. Who cares? It's like, he's playing really good defense.
I think the only reason that we're even having this conversation about him though is because the draft class is as bad as it is, because typically the dude who's just like a rookie who's contributing pretty well to a contender is like, yeah, that's nice. That might get you an all rookie team. But are we seriously talking about the 28th pick in the draft who's a 3-and-D player for rookie of the year? I guess we are.
Right. And it's like it's the Paolo J-Dub thing where it's a lot easier to like look better when you're in a winning infrastructure. And it's like Paolo he didn't have any spacing around him. He was the lead scoring option. He had to do a lot of stuff by himself. J-Dub is on this Thunder team that looks really, really good, and they've got good spacing, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, yeah, those players are going to benefit from being on a better team. It's like, yeah, it's way easier to look good when your team is good. It's harder to look good when your team sucks. Not necessarily saying that, there's a lot of rookies that suck.
Is that true all the time, though? Like, I feel like sometimes, maybe not in the case for rookies so much, but it's been NBA players in general, sometimes your team being bad can make you look better.
I think it depends on the type of player entirely.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, like, if you're Ryan Dunn, being on the Wizards would suck. But, like, if you're just, like, a bucket getter and you just want opportunities to develop that aspect of your game, then being on the Wizards doesn't sound too bad.
The NBA came out with their official rookie ladder today, but Zach Edey is number 1, Bub Carrington number 2, and another rookie on the Grizz, Jalen Wells.
Very funny, Rudy. Very clever, doing an inspect element and putting Zach Edey at number 1. Refresh the page and fucking show us who's actually there. No shot.
You got me. I'm hacking.
Can someone tell me why Alexander Sarr seems to think that he's a shooter? Like that's what his game is supposed to be? Because it's giving like Josh Smith to me.
Ooh, that's a fun comp. He is currently third in rookies points per game. Yeah, Josh Smith is one of the most fun players ever. I'm sorry, you didn't want him.
Whenever he didn't shoot jump shots, he was super fun. Whenever he did crazy ass dunks or crazy ass blocks, that was super fun. Then he'd take a jump shot and you go, Josh Smith, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Here's my problem with you people. You see.
Okay.
Y'all want people to play the in-between game and go tween, hezzy splash all up in the mid-range when it goes in. Y'all don't want to see it when they're just okay or bad at it. Y'all only want to see swish.
Yes, I would rather watch
get
Kyrie
your shit
Irving
off, Rudy.
than Jordan.
No, Rudy, I totally get what you mean. You're 100% right.
I would watch Kyrie Irving. I would watch Kyrie Irving do handles and mid-range jumpers, even if all of the swishes were cut out. Even if I never saw the rim in any video, I would be like, yeah, this and one mixtape is sick.
Yep.
Fucking, I don't give a fuck about Jason Williams' shooting percentage. He could do this and pass the ball.
When you, there is a threat that's fine for highlights. Highlights versus actually sitting down and watching a game is a whole different conversation when it's watching this dumbass decision making nonstop, especially if you like are invested in the result of it. I find dumb play frustrating after a certain amount of time.
Says the J.R. Smith lover.
That's true.
Get your shit off, Rudy.
But J.R. Smith, as many dumb moments as he may have, is not like a possession to possession gonna do some dumb shit type of player.
I'm LeBroning you. This is you're J.R. Smith and I'm LeBron right now.
I didn't say that version of J.R. Smith was my favorite. I liked Knicks J.R.
I'm more of a Nuggets J.R. myself.
Facts. Dude, Rudy, goddamn, Rudy, get one more goddamn takeoff. I'm gonna rip my fucking shirt off. Jesus Christ.
I need a soundboard to do the air horn right now.
Seriously.
Random tangent. What's the best like non-all-star highlight reel? Like
you're not gonna like this answer, but it's Jamal Crawford.
No, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Definitely an aesthetically excellent player. Yeah. No doubt.
Unless you're like talking about him. What's your beef with him? You think he's a pussy and you want him to be killed? What's your deal with him? You hate him?
Yeah.
You
I
hate
just
him.
hate that people call him the greatest six man of all time when it's not even close.
Yeah, it's Lou Williams.
It's not him either.
Alex Sarr's 46% true shooting from the field. Or true shooting from the field is a little bit redundant. True shooting percentage, not good for a big man. Not good for it all. Not good for a big man at all.
Good for it all.
Jalen Wells, who was picked 37 picks later and is a guard, shooting 47.5% true shooting, which is better than Washington's number 2 overall pick.
What's
at
the
big man
lowest
position.
minutes per game for a number 1 overall pick, like, ever? Because 25 has got to be up there.
Did Bargnani play that many? I actually don't know. Maybe it's him.
But
25.1
number 1 picks.
for Bargnani.
Who's the whoa, what's his name? Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
What did he play? He played 13 minutes a game. God damn.
You know what sucks about Anthony Bennett for me?
How are you the number 1
I really
pick?
liked Anthony Bennett in the draft. And when he got number 1 overall, I was like, yes, I'm right. He is good.
I didn't like him in the draft, but I like watching his highlights, like, just to pretend to live in the reality where he's good and you just cut out all the shit.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched a single minute of Zac Risacher.
I've seen a little
He's
bit.
easy to miss. He's definitely
Yeah.
one of those players who like doesn't really. If you're not watching him, you will probably forget he's there until he misses a shot.
Yeah, I've
What
mostly
makes
liked
he's
what
made
I
a
saw
few.
from him on defense, but
Well-
the 40% true shooting percentage is indicative of his struggles on offense.
Alex, let me help you out here. Let me give you a lob to get Hawks fans off your ass. Say something nice about the guy.
So I'm in the camp of like, I think he's going to be completely fine. The shooting stuff, it's understandable. Like, yeah, shots aren't going in. Panic button, panic button, panic button. Like, the one thing that people are not patient with is, are your shots going in? If the answer is no, you don't have any time. You need to be better now. But a lot of other stuff they'll be patient about. And I understand, like, yeah, you see him clank a few off the front of the rim. You're like, the first overall pick? Really? Are we serious? It's like, guys, it's okay. I'm not saying, like, is he going to be, like, all-star caliber, number 1 overall pick? Probably not. I wouldn't personally put a ton of money on that. I think there's other guys who probably have all-star potential in this draft class that were taken way lower, or higher, I guess.
I always
You guys
hate
get what
that
I'm
too.
saying?
I get what you mean. I hate that too.
The Hawks have been a fun team to watch, and I think, yeah, have a little patience with him. If we get to January and he's still at 40% true shooting, we got some issues.
I think,
But rookies don't shoot well. That's like just
yeah.
a universal truth. Most of the
This is not even close to the lowest rookie true shooting percentage we're gonna see today, by the way. So
I'm thinking like Trevor Ariza on Adderall. That's Zachary Risacher's peak right there.
y'all see that
That's a
quote
fun
where
player.
he says, in Europe he was like a super athlete, but in the NBA he's just some guy.
Yeah, that was not a good quote.
You don't want your number 1 pick saying that.
I understand
man.
where he's coming from, though. He's just being honest. Like, that's just being real. I don't know. There's a line where it comes off as being unconfident, and I don't think he really crossed it, but it is a funny quote.
Maybe it's a culture thing. Maybe I don't understand the French's swag, you know?
Meanwhile, you have Victor Wembanyama, who's from the same fucking country, and the guy shows up and he's like, the blood of my enemies is in the sand, and I morph the sand into a pane of glass, and I use that as my personal backboard at home. You're like, Jesus, Victor, chill out. So I don't know.
So let's look at this minutes per game leaderboard. Your top 5 are Bub Carrington, Keyshawn George, both on the Wizards, and then Jalen Wells again, Zachary Risacher again, and Alex Sarr again. And on this slide, I give you a little bit more insight into their box score averages. You got your points, rebounds, and assist on screen. Bub Carrington, who the fuck is this guy? Straight up. I'm like, is he
Can I
very
get some
good?
bars off?
By all means, Alex. ISO.
Wizards, sneaky fun team to watch. Not like, I'm not going to watch a whole game, but I'm watching Timberwolves Nuggets. It's halftime. Wizards are playing the Lakers on like a Tuesday night on League Pass. I'll flip over, and chances are I'm going to see at least one play where I'm like, it's not all hopeless. Like, there's something, there might be a light at the end of the tunnel, and
Jordan
it's just
Poole?
like Bub Carrington getting a steal and then getting like a transition dunk or something like that. And it's like,
Yeah, I
this
think
is
there's
what
probably
you have to hang on to.
There's a little bit more depth to them where there's like other dudes besides, we're like, oh my god, can't wait to tune into the Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma show. It's like, yeah, now there's Bub Carrington, there's Bilal Coulibaly, who we're probably going to talk about for the sophomore segment.
Absolutely.
But there's actually like like a reason to watch them. Where last year there was a little bit of the Coulibaly stuff, but like he was very clearly raw, which is not a super fun viewing experience for a full game to watch a super raw 19-year-old prospect. But yeah, I've watched 2 of their games thus far, and I've enjoyed them more than I typically would enjoy a Wizards game for sure. Jordan Poole, also playing good right now. Vindication for Matt Issa.
Last I checked, he was leading the league in steals at 2.8 per game.
He is. Super efficient, 22 a game.
Pool party is back.
Did you listen to the media pass, Jacob?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so it's funny you said efficient 22 because that was like our running joke with him is like, if we can get Jordan Poole at 22 points a game on like 56% true shooting, that's a win. It's like the bar
I think
is so...
I do think he's at 60 right now. Like, he's been really
he's
good.
Been great.
Yeah, if you fucking inspect Element and type in 60.
I think it would be interesting if we looked at the rookies that are playing less than 10 minutes a game, because I just looked something up out of curiosity. Sheppard, a guy a lot of people were talking about throughout Summer League.
You know what?
Definitely a victim of being on a good team. I like the Rockets. I think they're really fun this year. The West is just brutal. Reed Sheppard's only playing 9 minutes a game.
Reed Sheppard's only playing 9 minutes a
there he
game.
is.
Doing so on pretty decent efficiency. I have him on our other rookies card.
Is
Reed
that
Sheppard?
piece of shit Modest Buzelis? He fucking stinks. He's never going to be good. He's never been good. And it's the only player in the league that I'm like, I know for a fact you're not going to be good. I don't like him. I won't say I hate him. I don't hate him. But he's not fucking good. And he sucks and I hate him.
There was a caveat on one side where it's like I want to do like minimum 48 minutes per played, you know, like give me one full NBA basketball game. Buzelis does not cross that threshold, I don't think, unless the Bulls have played a fuck ton more games than I expect, because he is only playing 5.3 minutes per game.
He's only got in for spot minutes.
But in that time, he's putting up triple zeros. You heard about a triple single. What about a triple goose egg? He's putting up 0.8 points on 19.4 true shooting percentage.
I mean, I just
19.4 true shooting.
He's
0.7 rebounds and 0.5 assists.
He's also a rookie on the Bulls playing 4 minutes out of nowhere, and that's his entire run time. So it's not exactly the best environment.
So which is it? That bad teams can make you look good, or he fucking stinks? Which one is it?
Yeah,
we just agreed that it depends on the type of player you are. Buzelis is not the type of player who benefits from a shit team, for sure.
Because he's the bad type of player.
Because he's the best. Right. Thank you, Rudy. Yeah, I'm coming in a little bit hot here, so let me dial it back. I just think he's terrible.
I'm worried about his offense. He's
gas
going to be
a
a
bit.
great defender. I think his defense is great and going to continue to be great. So that's positive, but I don't know. He's going to the G. It's probably for the best.
He's going back to the G, right?
Yeah.
And then he's going to the damn Y.
But at least it's not. At least it's not the shit storm of what the fuck is that team? Ignite. At least it's not the Ignite.
Well, that's the to me, like, if you're gonna bet against him for any reason, it's the fact that he came from the G League Ignite, because like someone posted it the other day, like the hit rate on the guys that come from Ignite is awful.
Right.
And there's another interesting phenomenon, not to get too off of the rails here. There's another interesting phenomenon that's happening with OTE. And I've seen a lot of draft guys talking about it. Dude, every guy, it's not a ton of guys, but if we get down the road a little bit further, more guys come from OTE that get drafted. Dude, none of them can shoot. It's like a big problem. And it's like there's probably something developmentally happening behind the scenes as to why these guys don't have shots or even any semblance of a shot. Like, these guys are having to build their jumpers from the ground up when they get to the NBA.
Maybe they're all getting Markelle Fultz and they're all getting shoulder injections.
Man, I can't.
Is that what happened to him? He kept getting injections in his
He kept getting injections, and Drew Hanlon went along with either his own plan or Markel's team's plan or Markel's plan. Whoever initiated it, Drew Hanlon went along with it and tried to coach his shooting form out of what it had been and into something new that could adjust for his shoulder injury, and he broke forever.
There's some other conspiracies which we're not going to unpack.
We don't want to unpack the motorcycle conspiracy.
Yeah, there's the motorcycle thing. I actually did not know about that, and then I posted that video recently that was about, like, why is Markelle Fultz not signed? And I talked about, like, thoracic outlet syndrome and all that, and his shooting problems and stuff. And then I got like a bunch of comments from people that were like, no, what really happened is he was in a motorcycle accident. And I was like, what? I had never heard of that before. It was crazy.
Actually made a video about it with like a super clickbaity thumbnail.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
I don't
like,
even
you
remember
could,
this.
Yeah, you could cook with that for sure.
Just this player forgot how to shoot because he rode a motorcycle.
Yeah, it got 136k views. It's 5 years old. The video is the Markel Fultz story he doesn't want you to hear.
Oh, so shameless.
Oh my goodness. We got our own Marcus Hayes here.
Yeah, jeez.
I wish I could put photos in the chat because I would love to send the screenshot of the thumbnail because it's just so funny. There's a red circle around a motorcycle and it's an arrow pointing to his shoulder on his jump shot. It's
Oh my
great.
God.
Perfect clickbait.
That's what it's all about.
I was a little 19-year-old boy. What can I say? Marcus Hayes is a grown-ass man.
Just we are not the same. Let's go to this rookie true shooting leaderboard because we've been looking at a lot of guys who can't get a bucket to save their life. Let's look at the guys who are getting nothing but buckets. Keaton Wallace is the current leader. The qualifier here is what I mentioned earlier, 48 minutes played total. And he's shooting 67.3 true shooting, undrafted in 15 minutes a game. Getting 6
So I'm
points.
sorry, is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players who are shooting above league average true shooting?
Indeed, they are.
But it's only 5. It's like right around 58. So like the rookie class, almost everyone universally is below the average efficiency.
Yeah, the next 3 on the board are.
Which it makes sense that there would be a dip for rookies, but Jesus, there's not more than 5 dudes who can get over league average.
The next 3 are Bub Carrington, Ryan Dunn, and Jared McCain at 57, 56, and 55 true shooting.
You know what? You know what's interesting about this list, particularly out of all of the stuff that we've looked at? All of these guys have like not hyper specific, but very, very specified roles. Like their responsibilities are clear. Like Keaton Wallace. Fun fact: he's Cason Wallace's brother. For those that didn't know. And like you know that meme from The Office where it's like Pam with the 2 pictures and she's just like they're the same picture.
It's the same picture. .jpg.
Yeah. Keaton Wallace, Cason Wallace, it's the same picture. .jpg. But all of these guys like Zach Edey, yeah, dog, post up. We're gonna get you the ball. Do your little hook shots, set screens for jaw, do a little DHO stuff, drop coverage, etc., etc. Dalton Connect, you're gonna be a movement shooter. You're gonna fly off of screens. We're gonna run these cute little, dead corner DHOs, etc. All the JJ Redick nerd stuff. Super specific role. Donovan Clingan. Admittedly, haven't watched a ton of Portland Trailblazers this year, but I remember his whole thing coming out of college was like, hey, this is what he's going to be. And if you ask him to do that, he's going to be fine. And then Filipowski, I really haven't watched a ton, but I know his whole thing was like very NBA ready. So like these guys who you put them in specified roles where you're like, yeah, we just need you, like, don't do anything else. Like, we don't want you to do anything you can't do. If you just go on the floor and do the things that you can do, we're going to be happy. And I feel like that's all of these guys, it's reflected in the true shooting percentage. They're just being asked to do what NBA teams already know they can do. Which I guess isn't a groundbreaking revelation by any means.
Every revelation doesn't have to be groundbreaking. There's nothing wrong with pointing out the obvious. These guys, there's no surprises here, like you said. So I think it's interesting that the next 3 guys are perimeter players, though. Keaton Wallace and Dalton Connect, the only perimeter players here. Typically, big men tend to kind of dominate true shooting percentage unless they suck at the free throw line. But the fact that we got some pretty good perimeter players
that's
shooting
relative
decently.
to how many attempts they get, because if they're not even getting to the line, it doesn't affect it that much.
Yeah, but really, Zach Edey.
Shut up, nerd.
Get his ass.
How does it feel, Jacob?
Yeah.
I called you Stat Boy last episode, so it's fair enough.
Yeah, you hit it a little too hard too. It's like
I didn't. It felt icky when I listened to it back, because I felt bad about it. I was just joking.
Yeah, throw that into the apology ISO 2 episodes from now or whatever.
It has never genuinely hurt my feelings, so
Yeah, I know.
take comfort in that.
Pretty sure you're older than me too.
Hey, my feelings can still be hurt by words.
Yeah, the fuck? What are you talking about?
No, I just meant.
I'm
you're
older than
older
all
than
of you,
me,
and I'm by
you
far
I meant
the
I
most
referred
sensitive.
to you like as a boy, like I made you like what's the word I'm looking for? Son of
Made you his concubine?
Whoa, whoa, brother.
What, you don't know the
I've been
reference?
seeing that.
No, I
floating
know
around
the fucking
lot.
reference.
You guys remember the picture of Saddam Hussein in the hiding place in that
Yeah.
picture? So, have you guys seen the memes lately where people are seeing
Yeah, it's like the new
Like a-
Lost.
like a crack in? Yeah, it's like, is this Lost? But it's just like a crack in the wall, and it looks like Saddam Hussein in the hidey hole.
That's the name of this podcast, Saddam Hussein in the Hiding Hole.
If the curvature of the Earth was on the y-axis and the, whatever the fuck, then that field goal doesn't go in. I was like, shut the fuck up, you fucking dork! You push your glasses up.
I think he was talking about the double doink. That might have
Yeah,
been what that was.
it's the double
Bears
doink.
double
Yeah.
doink. Yeah.
He's like, what are the odds?
yeah.
But I've never
if-
I've never felt more that I wanted to shove someone in a locker when I was watching that clip back.
Yeah.
My,
I mean, Alex, all right, dude, at this point, all three of us have given one, so come on, give us something light. You got anything like
Dog,
vaccine or
dog.
Boston Marathon related?
Oh, come on. You think I'm vanilla like that? Come on, dude.
Oh, okay, let's get weird. Let's get weird.
Remote viewing. You would be able to, the CIA proved this, that there is enough scientific credence to this that you would be able to, if you concentrated hard enough, etc., you would be able to describe somebody in Times Square. And the CIA verified this, that it was not a 100% hit rate, but I believe the wording in the literature that was published was there is enough data here that this is at bare minimum worth investigating further because it is compelling data.
I don't get what he's.
The soldiers have never had unfettered internet access before, and so they're
boy.
just like binging porn.
Naturally, it's the first thing you got to do. You got to get the goon session.
The real question is, are they doing it in VR?
All
All right, we need to corral this thing. let's move on. That was enough of us.
Oh, so as soon as I start
segment.
bringing up North Koreans watching porn, that's a step too
No,
far.
North
We can talk about-
Koreans can watch porn. I'm okay with that. We've been doing this for a while.
I'm okay with that. Is great.
We just killed like 15 minutes on this.
That's podcasting, baby. It's an art, not. Tristan Da Silva, though, as far as I understand, was a surprise pick at number 18 overall. However, he is one of the best rookies in this class. 8 points a game, 54.6 true shooting, 3.3 boards, and 1.5 assists in 22.5 minutes. And then, last but not least, that we haven't mentioned on the slide so far, Ron Holland. Right? He hasn't come up. Nick, has he stood out to you? He's playing 14 minutes a game, shooting pretty well, getting rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, a commenter, I don't remember if it was here on the Shootaround or if it was over on the Coping Hour, which you can find over at Motown Noah or on Spotify. I don't remember where the comment was left, but I was doing my spiel about, hey, it's weird that the Pistons drafted the same guy twice in a row if they feel like a Sarr Thompson is going to come back, right? So it's kind of like a tea leaves thing there. But somebody made a good point that the reason that they drafted Ron Holland, even if it is the same guy, is that his scoring upside is higher, right? He can put the ball in the hoop, and he did that at a pretty high level. I don't know if it was a high level, maybe being hyperbolic. There's some
That was on the
cooking in that take.
shoot-around clip, by the way.
In the summer league, that he was like, okay, so you can, and then you get to the regular season, it's like, well, he's like so much lower in the pecking order, but like, yeah, it's definitely still there, and I'm just more interested in watching him play defense because he does it in a quintessential Piston way. So yeah, he deserves all the minutes he gets. I don't know, it's gonna be tough for him to carve out more unless somebody gets hurt or like, because I just don't think we paid a couple guys this offseason. It's gonna be hard to sort of put them at the end of the bench. Unless someone gets hurt or maybe someone gets traded or something. But for right now, like, dog, the Pistons are big time chilling with him. And there's this. I don't really want to say there's a case for him to win Rookie of the Year right now because I would be me when I fucking lie. But no, it's about the happiest that you could be with a Pistons draft pick given our track record in the last like 20 years.
Yeah, well,
especially with wings.
Yeah.
Was he another G League guy? Sorry, Rudy, I didn't mean to.
He was
go ahead.
Ignite or OTE. He's Ignite.
I think he was Ignite. Okay, I was
Yeah.
just curious.
Yeah.
I do want to point out we were correct last pod episode. It was the day that they played the Sixers and they hadn't won a game yet, And Detroit did indeed win that game, as we predicted. So let's pat ourselves on the back. Really feel like true NBA analyst here. Taking basketball deadly serious, as I said on episode 1 of the season. But unless y'all want to talk anymore about these guys, we can move on to the sophomore report. Yeah, Stinky Sophomores. What I'm going to do here is just pull up all the numbers. So bear with me for a second. Thank God we're not live anymore. Otherwise, this would be tedious.
Oh, yeah. We don't even have to worry about that.
Oh, right. No
I
matter
got
how...
my magnifying glass.
Right. It's just too many
My
numbers.
monocle out so I can look at the.
Right, but there's only 26 sophomores that even qualify for leaderboards so far this season. And when you sort them by points per game, the top of the board is not Wemban-womp-womp-womp, but instead, drumroll please, Grady Dick. Big old Grady Dick. Putting up 21, 2-2 with 2 stocks per game, 2 turnovers, and 32 minutes per game.
He's growing so fast. Right in front of our eyes.
Big, hard, veiny Grady Dick.
All right.
Yeah, let's get it all out of our system.
You just said nose. Get me on that.
But yeah, then Victor Wembanyama right below him.
Real quick.
More about
I
Grady
can
Dick?
I can provide some substance on Grady Dick because I'm doing some exploratory research on a video on him. So, like, his whole thing is really tall dude who can shoot. Like, movement shooter.
I mean,
Like,
really
basically
tall.
just like a taller, probably a little bit quicker and more athletic, like Duncan Robinson. But, dude, I tell you what, the thing that's, like, really
Duncan
surprising
Robinson
me...
is taller than Grady Dick.
Oh.
What?
6'6" does not sound right. I think he's definitely taller than that. I think that neck gives him like 2 more inches.
It's a lot of neck.
This dude, like, as a driver, is way better than I thought. And I admittedly had not watched a ton of Grady Dick prior to this season. But he's just like, this dude throws himself at the rim. And I'm sure this has been said before. This probably isn't a groundbreaking take, but I feel like dudes who are really good shooters, who have just like really good shooting touch, when you have that like shooting touch and you're driving and literally just throwing yourself at the rim, that shooting touch can help you make those just unorthodox finishes. Cause like, yeah, if you can knock down a 3-pointer flying off a screen at 100 miles an hour using just like really nice touch, you can probably knock down a layup where you're getting punched in the face by this 7-footer waiting for you at the basket. It's like those are translatable skills.
Sorry, I got distracted by the more Dick Pages part of the basketball reference screen. There's just too many puns available.
I watched a game of him recently. I made a joke at the start, pre-pod, where we were doing Dick puns, and I said that he hung in the air on a layup really well. But he actually has caught me by surprise on a couple of different instances, like where he just actually hung in the air for a little bit and had like a really acrobatic finish. And like we were talking group chat as well, like I think Noah said that like Dick was coming for Heroes title as like white boy of the month, white boy of the NBA, but like I think he's playing to his strengths and not trying to be a player that he isn't in the same way that Tyler Hero did, where like look at the assists for Grady. Like he is not a ball handler, he is not a playmaker. That dude comes off of screens and he either shoots or he attacks off of the catch. And like he's just super efficient with it. Mid-range shots off screens, threes, whatever. Like it's giving like Rip Hamilton a lot when you watch him, and it's very fun. There aren't a lot of like high volume scoring shooters who literally are just like, I'm coming off of a screen and shooting, and that's the majority of my offense.
I'm looking at the steals too. This is crazy. 3, 2, 1, 3. That's wild.
Yeah, most recent game, he had 26 points, 4 turnovers, but 5 stocks, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Yeah.
Shooting 50% from the floor, 44% from 3. Like, that's incredible for any player.
I don't think he had like these kind of expectations when he was drafted. I don't think anyone was like, oh yeah, Grady Dick, 20 point per game scorer. But like he's doing it, and he's doing it efficiently.
Unfortunately, because of the exact criteria that I put into this basketball reference list, Chet Holmgren does not come up, but he would probably be next or first in the category here.
What's this criteria?
The criteria is drafted in 2023.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to has two. I can't believe this has come up multiple pods in a row, but I guess Chet is just such a name now that's going to have to come up all the time.
Why don't you pull up Chet's individual page and he deserves having his own page specifically because he's definitely been the best sophomore thus far. I don't even think it's really been close.
Chet Holmgren this season. Last week he was averaging like 22 and 13. He has come back down to earth. 17, 9.7, and a 2.7 assist. Still shooting quite good though, although overall 3-point percentage is down based on where he was at last year. 24 PER. I know we don't like PER, it's a bad stat, but holy crap, what a high number, you know?
You know what my favorite thing to do is? Chet Holmgren's 3-point percentage this season is at 30%. And I've talked a lot about where I'm looking at guys shooting well to start the season, and I'm like, guys, look, they're shooting like 41% from three. I know it's a small sample size, but come on, isn't that cool? And then I see Chet shooting 30% from three, and I'm like, well, that's going to come out. Put zero stock in that. That means nothing. And I'm like, well, they're both the same, basically the same sample size. Like, but, you know, as long as it suits my agenda, that's all I care about.
17 a game actually puts him at fifth. Sorry, I can't count. Fifth in sophomore points per game. So a little correction there for you. Is Wemby a disappointment so far?
Absolutely.
Let me blow this up.
I think
a
it'd be just malpractice to suggest otherwise. Definitely. I don't love how many people were just like, oh yeah, Vic's in a shoe-in to be like top 10 player in the NBA next year. Like, it is not a guarantee that like after a strong rookie year you're going to be way better the next year. A sophomore slump is an expression for a reason.
The people who were betting on him to win most improved player, I had a person close to me, they sent me their ticket and they had him on there as it was like their parlay was, you know, whatever bullshit, and they had him on there for MIP, and I was like, well, first, like, he's a second year guy, like unless he's going to get MVP votes this year, like there's just no way. So who would that be? Who's the leader in the clubhouse for you guys?
It's probably RJ Barrett. Dude's putting up
pick.
hella assists, scoring hella efficiently. He's really stepped up his game. Let me pull up the numbers because
What about
they're quite
Dennis Schroeder?
Dennis Schroeder's another good contender.
It's like 31.
Yeah, but
Is he that
I
old?
know.
Maybe
That's
that's the
why.
story.
That's why it's cool. I'm so tired of this award. Always like. I think the award should specifically go to dudes who are like, no one thought you were gonna be all that good, but he's up to 20 and 7 this year. He's shooting 50% from three.
I will say he was almost this good in OKC. To be fair.
Yeah.
So,
But I like that pick. That's fun.
I've seen Rudy. I'm sorry. Will you scroll back up for just a second?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Maple Mamba. People have called RJ Barrett that forever, right? Star J fucking rules. Broadway Barrett? God damn, that's cool. Usually these basketball reference nicknames are dumb as hell. That's a sick. These are awesome nicknames. They went like 3 for 5 here.
You're not feeling ducky?
No, or headband
I just don't
row.
know what it means. I just don't know.
I
what
feel like
ducky
that's
means.
one where it's like one of those where it has like a lot of personal meaning, and so I don't want to say it's bad, and then they're like, oh, his grandma gave that to him, and then I'm like, well, I'm a terrible person. I'm Marcus Hayes now.
Just a major shoot-around canon character now, Marcus Hayes.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of mileage.
RJ Barrett this season putting up more than double his career assist averages, putting up a total of 26, 6, and 8 in his box score, as well as 44, 38, 70 shooting splits. The assists are what really stand out to me. Look at his last 5, and he's got 1 with 12, 1 with 10 most recently, and then more high numbers on top of that. So RJ Barrett might be the real deal. Could he carry the Raptors to an accidental playoff berth? We shall see. What else do you want to talk about on this long
have we not
list of
talked
second-year
about
players?
Coulibaly?
No, that's the one. I knew there was something. Bilal Coulibaly absolutely
It's right
breaking
there.
out. Absolutely breaking out.
He's 20 years old as well.
putting up 17, 6, and 2.5 on great efficiency. 55, 40, 80. Or excuse me, 44, 80. Wow, what a 3-point percentage.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's crazy to be this good, this young, to be this efficient on such a shit team as well. Just, man, Bilal was a guy last year where I felt like some people were like projecting a ceiling on him that I didn't quite see. And I do think people tend to do that when a player is 19. We're just like, yeah, the sky's the limit for this guy. If he's under the age of 20, we can project him to be Michael Jordan. But damn it if I wasn't wrong, because this is a pretty fucking remarkable second season so far. I doubt he'll maintain this level of efficiency, but it's not just a matter of efficiency. It is also a matter of him looking extremely comfortable, and the efficiency is a result of that.
My favorite Bill Simmonsism is whenever a dude plays for Team USA for the first time and he talks about how that's really going to matter going into the NBA season because that experience really matters. He's never fucking right about it. But with Bilal Coulibaly, like, he plays for France this summer in the Olympics. Didn't get to play a ton, but like, I don't know, he got some minutes here and there. And like, it actually seems like maybe, I'm not going to say that was the, you know, the driving factor in it, but at least playing that at that high level around a bunch of really, really good players, you know, like the Yabuseles of the world. There's somebody else on the team that I was forgetting. But, you know, comparatively
Nick
to
Batum,
the Wizards.
Evan Fournier.
The joke was that I wasn't saying Rudy Gobert.
Oh,
so then
okay.
he goes back to the Wizards where it's like, what is he supposed, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm really happy that this one's panning out. Those splits are bananas. Talk about, that was a banana split joke that I had, and I walked right into it, and then I closed the door and walked away from it. God damn it.
Unbelievable.
Big Bilal Coulibaly guy.
Rudy,
Definitely
can you
would
do
be
me a favor?
yes. I was gonna say he'd be like the number one pick in the draft for this past draft, right? Surely, like, no doubt.
Yeah, probably. Can you go look at his usage? I'm giving Jacob more ammo to call me a nerd. I'm just curious. I want to see if
I
it's
just
gone
made
up,
an
'cause, I mean, I
hour-long
just feel
video
like it
about
would've
usage, man. I'm all about that.
gone up. Okay, 3. That's
18?
actually
That's
the
nothing.
fact that he's that. The fact that he's putting up those numbers on that low usage is like, whoa, pretty cool.
That is, like, anything below 20 for 18 points a game is pretty nuts.
Rudy's like our in-show artificial intelligence helper. Hey, Rudy. Treating you like your Siri. Hey, Rudy. Can you show me Bilal Coulibaly's assist-to-turnover ratio?
Hey Google, show me this guy's balls, please.
They have. There's no way you haven't heard that one, Nick. From Alex.
What the fuck?
That's
think it's
one of
an Eric
Alex's
Andre
go-to lines.
Never heard that. I wish I didn't know that was a recurring thing, and that was just sort of off the.
Oh, sorry.
Rob,
I
your
wish
experience.
I was that funny.
It just felt very out of character. I was like,